do you have a spot in your house that feels magnetic for clutter that doesn't have a home, or just general stuff that gets dumped in a specific area? I put it here almost 2 months ago, thinking this would be an area where the kids would play with the toys that were on here, specifically like Light Bright and Osmo, while listening to a podcast or music, or just something that they could pass their time without screens while just kind of tinkering at this table. It never ever happened. This table turned into a magnetic dumping ground for other stuff. The intended purpose of this table in this location never came true. My goal in this video is to tackle this magnetic dumping ground, remove the table from the room, and just recalibrate my expectations on why we didn't use it the way I thought we would, in an effort to help me deal with the stuff and possibly declutter some things out of our home and our life. Welcome to the channel. In this video today, my name is Erica Lucas. I'm really glad you're here. I share videos about decluttering, minimalism, and intentional living. And I'm going to really push the question that I think of as like a golden question in decluttering is, what would my life look like without this item? Because this stuff has just been sitting here. Sometimes we bring furniture into a room with the best of intentions, that we have this idea in our head on how it's going to look and be maintained, and it just doesn't shake out that way. And recalibrating my expectations about what I wanted to have happen was going through my brain as I was starting to clear off this table. What ultimately was my goal 2 months ago? What I wanted was the kids to have more opportunities during the day for learning by listening to a podcast, by just sort of being on their own and playing with things we already have, like Light Bright and Osmo and Yodo and Leapfrog. I wanted them to just have a little space where they could listen in headphones and have some quiet time on their own. This is something that they seek. And they do this with music and podcasts already in the car or in the backyard. They just kind of play in the backyard. And so I was trying to meet that need in the house as well by organizing these things together. My inclination as a minimalist now is to put this table on the street with a sign that says free and someone can have it. But I did check with my husband and he does not want to get rid of it right now. And so I have to respect that decision because he's not a minimalist. He wants to keep the table. I put these here because my vision, I think, is going to be to put them here and take this stuff down and just have a couple of books featured here that the kids can reach, like one sort of here and one sort of there. I'm going to think on that's where I want that to be. I think these are going to be my school carts for everything that we are presently doing in school. I really only reference a couple of things right now, so I might store the rest in our homeschool closet. But that's not my focus. My focus was this area. This table had become a magnetic dumping ground. I divided everything into piles. This is just some school stuff that was on there that will end up on these carts. These shelves I'm going to think on. This is everything I had put onto this table. The vision for this was that it was going to be like a podcast listening station for the Yodo podcasts and playing like Osmo and Leapfrog, but it never once was used that way. It just became a dumping ground for stuff. To own less, you have to want less, and I want less. All that table did was just magnetize things that don't have a home and stuff we don't really want. All that table did was magnetize things we don't want, things we don't need, things we don't use. Yeah. Okay. So the question then becomes, what does my life look like without this item, and how do I get it out of my life? Do I throw it out? Do I donate it? Do I sell it? All right, so we're going to think about that. I'm going to start with what I refer to as the podcast category, just miscellaneous things that we owned that I was pairing with listening to children's podcasts, which we don't even do here. We do that in the car. We don't even do that here. We do that in the car. Okay. This is our Yodo player. The kids were obsessed with this thing. and it's been misplaced in this house. These are some of the paperback books that we have so the kids can actually read along while they're listening to the Yodo player. This wallet holds the Yodo cards that they own. If I found the Yodo player, would I keep this? Yes, because this is a great thing to bring into a car for a car ride. This is a great thing to bring to doctor's appointments for one of the kids. So if I can find the Yodo player, I would keep this. But I think I'm gonna get rid of the rest of this. I'm gonna donate the rest of this. I'm just gonna kind of live with that for a second. Leapfrog, these are all the Leapfrog. It's like a whole math series from Leapfrog. And then a super old DVD player. I have to confirm with my husband, because this was my husband's DVD player, that he's okay getting rid of it. But if he is, all of this is going to go to our homeschool co-op table at the first Thursday of every month. There's a giant table where people put stuff that they don't want anymore and other people can take it. And then there's a designated person that takes everything to Goodwill for donation that wasn't chosen by any other families. I'm putting this whole thing on there. I'm gonna put it in a bag. Okay, this is Light Bright. This was a recommendation from therapy, from our occupational therapist, for sensory needs, that playing with Light Bright in the dark helps regulate sensory processing. The kids like tinkering with it, but it is not a toy they seek and play. What would my life look like without this item? So when it comes to the Light Bright, it really would not matter much to my children at all that the Light Bright was gone, because they don't choose to actively play with it. They play with it when they notice it, and then they just build something because they're bored. So it's not a toy that developmentally is doing anything for them. And from a sensory perspective, it did not do the thing I thought it was going to do, which is really contribute to the regulation that sensory processing disorder needs. So I'm totally fine getting rid of that. Ozma. Immediately, definitely these two games. The kids do like to play the coding ones, which is what's in here, and the pizza one. Yeah, which is what's in here. So I'm going to leave this like this, and we'll keep Osmo, we'll keep Yodo, and we'll get rid of these two particular games. For Osmo, these are the Math Wizard ones. Nobody liked playing them. And all three of these I will just put on the homeschool table for families to take. Somebody will love a Light Bright, somebody will love that. Somebody in a preschool family would love this. And then anybody who already has an Osmo but doesn't have these can also take these games. All right, 2 empty bins. 2 empty bins. This is the pile of trash I've started. I need to get it out of the house. I need to get this space free and clear. I'm gonna go put this in the car. That's the other pile I did. My paperwork. I just need to process that. Most of it's probably junk, but I just need to go through it. And I need to designate a charging station. And I got rid of the idea of a podcast station. We're not doing that. I did keep half of what was designated for that. And that leaves this. I hate this wall. I mean, I love my whiteboard. We use it for school, but this bothers me. For now, I've decided to store these carts right here because I can move them, out of the way. I'm just kind of hiding the ugly aesthetic of that Verizon box on the wall. So I can move them out of the way to get to the whiteboard to write each day, and that's fine, that's easy. I can also slide these into the other room if we do school at the dining table or in the family room. So I just like the carts for our everyday stuff. I do need to declutter and organize those carts, but that's not today's project. That includes some of the school stuff that I've been gathering that I know belongs on the carts, as well as the charging station stuff. That charging station is not going to live here on the floor. I just have to figure that out. I don't love this. I don't know where to put this. But that's also not today's problem. I essentially solved this, kind of solved this space. I wanted to get rid of the table. I wanted to declutter some stuff that was on that table. I did those things. In an effort, I created a clutter avalanche. That was a term coined by Messy to Minimal, her channel. She hasn't posted in a long time, but a clutter avalanche is where by getting rid of clutter in one area, you've made a clutter problem in another area. And I hit a bit of a wall. I got stuck with this and it derailed me completely on my productivity. And now I'm kind of out of energy and I have to call it. When I push through things like this, I get tired in other areas of my life, like motherhood and cooking and cleaning and all the other things that need to happen and I need to be productive about. So I need to respect my boundary on this one and my limits. And this is for another day, hopefully tomorrow. And maybe with my husband's help, because this now feels like a larger project than I was thinking it was going to be. And having another body with you to help you through it, to help you make decisions, to help you carry stuff, to help you move stuff, that just sort of helps the motivation and momentum that you have on a decluttering project. And so I think I need to wait until I've got some time with him to be able to do this. I can do the school carts, that's easy. I know exactly how I want it, I just have to do it. It's the charging block. I need to figure out where that's gonna live now. I need to figure out where that's gonna live. I don't know, I just need to give it some time and some thought. Thanks for being here with me today. I'm gonna leave you a link to this video here about clutter and the honest recognition of it and asking that question, what would my life look like without this item? Take care, I'll see you in the next video.